In this tutorial, you will learn how to set up the shape of the interchangeable base character in the right sense when you use the character converter or cloth converter tool. Let's first switch to the cloth converter tool. Then, let's load a model which we need to match. This is the model. We need to match the shape of this one to this one. In cloth converter or character converter, you see two buttons. One is step 1 build character. The other is step 2 deform character to match this one to it. To get into the first step, click this button. Then set up the shape to match this one as much as possible. Does not mean matching perfectly. To match perfectly, we need to go to the second step. To match using point and face matching. So the first step is just setting up the shape to make it match the target as much possible. Let's start the first step. Click this button. You see the shape changed according to the parameter setting here. We will use this window to interactively change the shape of this one. This window consists of 2 pages. One is shape, the other is the pose. The shape page contains all the parameters to change the shape. The pose page contains all the parameters to change the pose, which are the rotation of each bone and position of the character. The pose page contains a checkbox here which allows you set to change the pose symmetrically or not. As this model is symmetric, so let's keep it checked. Each page have buttons to reset parameters. Suppose we change one. You see we change it now. Clicking the Reset Body Parameters button resets all the parameters back to default values. The head parameters includes the head shape here and following parameters. There are many parameters here, but you don't need to worry, because normally you only need to change some frequently used parameters. In this tutorial, we will show you how to change the most frequently used parameters. In most cases, these parameters are enough to meet your requirements. Each page also has an import from file and an export to file buttons. They are used to back up your parameter settings. For example, let's change some parameters. When you change a pose parameter, you can either change the parameter here or click the right mouse button on the gizmo to change it. Then we use the Export to File Button to save all the shape and pose parameter setting to. Two files. Let's click the Export to File button. Now let's check the files exported. Go to the folder. You see two files. This B file contains all the shape parameters. The pose file contains all the pose parameters. Normally we need to use them together in order to completely restore the shape and pose. Let's reset all the parameters. Then let's import the file. Now you are asked if you want to import another parameter file. If you select no, you will not completely restore the original shape. So select yes. You see the original shape and pose have been restored. Let's reset to default setting and start the first step. Although you can change any parameter at any time, we recommend you to change the parameters in the following way, step by step. First, you need to change these four parameters. Then you change others in the following steps. We recommend you to patiently learn the rest of this tutorial, which will help you to master this build character step. First, let's change the breast size. As the target model is a female, change it to 1. If it is a male, change it to 0. This parameter can be adjusted or fine-tuned later. Then let's check the body sizes, which are height, depth, and width. The height is from here to the shoulder. It does not include the neck and head sizes, which are adjusted separately using other parameters. These three parameters adjust body sizes from foot to shoulder. Now let's first check the body height. It looks the height from here to here and in height from here to here are the same, so keep using the value 1 for its scale. Then let's check the body depths. They are also similar, so keep using the value 1 for its scale. The source body looks a little wider. You can see here also, you can see here and here. So let's reduce the width scale. The next step is clicking on the pose parameters. Then Change the parameter of this bone. This bone has 3 parameters: X rotation and Y and Z positions. When you click any bone here, you also see a gizmo here. For this bone hips, you can change the Y and positions X rotation. For any of other bones, you can only change 3 rotations. So this bone hips is special. Its parameters determine the body position in Y and Z directions, the rotation of hips around the X-axis. You change a bone's parameters in 2 ways. One is editing its value here. The other is using the right mouse button to manipulate the gizmo. When you change using the gizmo, the parameter values also change correspondingly. Let's set it back to 0. Same thing for the position Y and Z. Y is in this direction. Z is in this direction. First, let's change the Z. To do this, let's click this button to change the side view. Then let's do it. Click right mouse button on it and move. To get this part matched, and then get this point matched, click this button to change the front view. Let's change the shading of this middle sense from solid to wireframe. Now, we need to match this point with this point. We call it the center of the character. This crotch point is very important. We must match it accurately first, because the effects of other parameters will not change it and will be based on it. This crotch point is the center of the character. It determines the basic position of the character. Similar to the crotch point, the hip's orientation is also very important. We must adjust it accurately first, because the effects of other parameters will not change it and will be based on it. The hip's orientation determines the basic orientation of the character. Then let's change other parameters one by one. This clutch height is very important. It changed the ratio of the length from the crotch to shoulder and the length from clutch to the end of the foot. You see now both the levels of the foot and the shoulder are matched. Then we need to change the pose of foot and others. We need to change the hand size. Hand is too small, let's go to Shape, then go to Hands. Let's increase a little. Then we all need to rotate it. The hand is a little wider, so let's go here. Shape Hands width. Reduce it a little. Then let's rotate the hand. Then let's change the rotation of each finger, such as the thumb. Then the middle one, the index. Then the middle. The middle is almost okay. And the ring. The ring is too long. So let's go to the ring, reduce its size length. Then let's go to the pink. Then let's adjust the head and the neck. It looks the neck a little wider. Let's just go to the neck girth. Reduce a little neck girth. Normally, when you fit a character to a cloth, if the cloth does not cover the hands or the head, then you don't need to match the hands and head, which take a lot of time. And also, if the cloth does not cover the feet, then you don't need to match the feet. In principle, you only need to match the body part covered by the cloth, as the remaining part does not affect cloth conversion. But when you use the character converter to match a naked base character, you should match the whole body. Now let's export all the parameter setting to files. We have finished the parameter setting and so close this window. Click this Finish button. Now, get a dialog asking if you want to use the current shape. Click Yes if you click No. Then this body shape will be restored to the initial one. So let's click Yes to keep it. Let's change it to this one. Then let's click this button. The next step, we change to this Match Meshes mode, in which we match this body shape to this one using these point and face matching functions. We will show this in the following tutorial. Finally, let's save this body shape to a file. Let's check and fine-tune the results. Let's change the shading with this model to white frame. This is end of this tutorial. Thank you.